This is a 24 by 18, so it's quite a long bass drum, but my other one's a 24-16, and it's a Jazz Series bass drum, so it's got much more of an old school sort of sound. But I found I put a little T-towel in the bottom, just sort of wrapped up against the back head, the batter head here, just to give it a little bit more thud. But I like the change in sound between that staccato heel up sort of sound and the very subby sort of sound you can get if you bring your heel down, let the bass drum beat it back. So I've got two sounds then to my disposal, you know. And like the 24, 'cause it's a bit of a big kick drum size for the kind of thing we're doing, but particularly with some of the like clubfoot, say, it's got some fast bass drum beats and stuff going on, but I quite like the size of it, and it kind of you get kind of quite a dramatic sound out of a big 24. I notice it when we do sometimes our acoustic sessions where I use a little 20 or something, and they can get quite amped up, you know, properly mic'd up, but the guys have got acoustic guitars. But I find it kind of bottoms out a little bit on me. I like the fat sound, you know. So to go along with that, I've got a nice big deep snare, 14 by, I think this one's 6.5, I think. It's quite a deep snare. On the other kit, I think it's a 14 by 6. Again, I tune it quite high, but it gives me loads of depth and like a big fat wide sound that the engineer can use or not, depending on which of the two mics he's using and how he wants to EQ the snare. So there's loads of body there if he wants it, loads of ring. I use an O-ring from certain tunes to change the sound of the snare drum, make it more of a dead sort of dead sound, you know. And then I kind of got the classic 13-16 toms, and they're in the normal standard sizes, 13 by 9, 16 by 16, and an 18 by 16. And that kind of, again, it's a big drums, but I find it all matches itself. It's an old standard way, you know, it's an old big band setup really, you know, it's tried and tested. But again, it gives me loads of power behind all this, just the big sound that the band makes. So, and I don't know. Yeah, I got a second snare. I think it's a little 13 by 4. This one, and it just is a nice contrast to the main snare. It means I can just change the sound. You know, it means I got effectively then sort of three sounds to my arsenal. You know, the disposal. And then again with the cymbals, I use quite big cymbals. I've got a big 22, a thin 22 ride cymbal. This is my second set. It's my B set. So I got an identical set on my red kit, which is the Jazz Series. So they do sound a little bit different, but a nice thin 22. Again, it gives me loads of wash. It gives me a nice stick sound, a nice bell sound as well. I do change in fire just for the one tune, but I changed to a fat Z thing. This 22 power ride Z thing. It's really heavy, but it's the perfect sound just for that one tune, you know what I mean? So, and then I got normal new beat hi-hats, 14-inch, an 18-inch sort of K medium thin dark crash, and a 19 to go with that, and a 19-inch hybrid China crash, basically. So that's kind of, I got this little splash as well, little 12-inch. So between all the drums and the cymbals, it's kind of like a tried and tested sort of drum kit. It's not like freaky like Jojo Mayer's Nerve kit, which is like amazingly unique to him and stuff. It's kind of like an old school kit, but I like the old school sound. Stick this out of here. Awesome, boys.